panel discussion, which is on how might CSOs work better in the fast-changing technology space. And we are bringing you some of the tech gurus in this town who are doing fantastic work in their various endeavors. This session will be moderated by Mr. Frank Sombo, who is head of monitoring, evaluation, and learning at WAXI. Frank. Now, your panel members are Jerry Sam, who is executive director at Penplusbytes, and then Mazimos Ametogo, who is the chief executive officer of Pop Out. So, Max, Jerry, and Frank, please. Yes, you. Whilst we are getting ready for them, if there's any participant who will be departing to Konongo, please eye me. There's a participant at the back who wants to. The visa arrangements to Konongo has changed. They need to talk to you on something. So if you will be departing to Konongo, please raise your hand. This is the gentleman. Please, connect. There's somebody there, so connect with him. All right. Thank you, Frank. Please, we have 1 hour for this session.
Very good to know. Thank you very much, Michael, and good afternoon, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here. My greetings to my honorable panel members and salutation to the audience, both online and in the room. So, technology has become an intrinsic part of our day-to-day lives, shaping, guiding, and influencing what we do on a personal basis, on a professional basis, and also in our public engagement. And in recent years and decades, we've seen an exponential growth of technology. We'll be able to go through some of the key milestones of that fast-paced change that we are seeing in the technology landscape. But then the question is, what are some of the opportunities that come with the evolution of technology, and what are some of the risks? What kind of benefits that civil society organization can take in the face of this technology evolution? And we'll also look at things pertaining to the policy framework and the kind of systems and structures that organization needs to have in place or leverage to maximize the use of technology. So briefly, for instance, when we look at the regional space at ECOWAS, as part of their Vision 2050, they have a strategic pillar that focuses on transformation and inclusive sustainable development that has an emphasis on innovation and technology. And we can see that today, virtually every aspect of our life is regulated with technology. If we conduct a survey in the room now, we realize that many of us are holding more than one mobile phone. Am I right to say that? Yeah, I think the survey has been conducted and majority of participants have confirmed. And we can also tell from data that Africa has more than 70% mobile penetration. What does that mean in terms of the landscape? I would like to hand over to my panel members. So we have Jerry Sam, who is the executive director of Penplusbytes, is a trained journalist, is also a governance specialist and a digital security expert. He has qualification in project management and many other areas. He provides support to many organizations on technology and influencing the policy. And then I also welcome, can you please give a round of applause to Jerry Sam? I also have with me Mr. Maximos Ametogo. Is an expert, a strategist, a facilitator, and a coach. And he has a very strong emphasis on digital marketing for non-profit as well as other sectors. We'll hear more about them. But before we get into the actual conversation on how civil society can leverage technology to work better, I would like to find out from you, Jerry, is it a hype when we talk about the fast-paced of technology evolution, or is it really a thing?
I don't think it's a hype. It's something that we are living with. It's with us every day, and we use it all around us. It's with us every day. The only thing is that this time, advancements have more sunshine on them because it's being marketed widely. You find it all on social media. There's so many things that we are using it to, apply to our daily lives. So it's making it look as if it's a hype, but I mean, it's something that we've been, living with since the days of our baby boomers to now. The technology has always been with us, and since that time, right from the 60s coming, every new tech tool that come up, as you call it, emerging technology, wows us. I remember one time I was in the workshop with Alaji Tanko, and he mentioned that those times when you used to go to conferences, and before the conference starts, people network, engage with each other. Now what do you see? Everybody is like this. Everybody is playing with their phone. So it's taking a bit out of our life, so it's disrupting our life both positively and negatively. But then the hype really is that, it's changing the way we are doing things.
Okay, thank you for that. I mean, for anyone who is really connected to some of the most recent changes with technology, especially since the introduction of AI and generative AI, you tend to hear something new every other day, and it kind of creates some kind of technology scare. Am I the only person in the room here? Right, so it's reassuring to know that it's not just a hype, but there's something true to do with it, but we'd like to know more. And so what are some of the, and I'm turning to Maximus, what are some of the drivers of this fast-paced change or evolution in the technology landscape?
Okay, the drivers for me is usability. So long as you have utility value for a particular solution, we'll go for it. I'm not sure Facebook advertised in Ghana, neither did Gmail or any of those online platforms. But so long as you hear other people using it, and then you tried it, and it delivers convenience to you, then you adopted it, right? Then now we have 7.4 million people using social media in Ghana. That's a huge number. If we don't find it useful, we will not be on it. And research shows that...
Sorry, what is the number you mentioned again?
7.4 million.
Of users of Facebook?
Yes, active users of social media platforms in Ghana. Facebook is about 6.6 million, right? So that is a huge number. And according to research, Facebook has connected over 150 billion friendships. So you can just imagine how complex that is. So they've built a platform, and then they've added us. We have become the cells of the platform. So now we can't do without the platform. So every time you're on your phone, you are checking the notification, and then who is commenting, who is saying what, and then you also add your voice to it, and then you get response from other people. That is the utility value that these platforms have delivered to us, for which reason we see value in them, for which reason we keep using it, and then the platform keep growing, and then others are joining. And other platform developers are also introducing new platforms with different features and functionalities that are not in the existing ones. So they can also get more users because they're also delivering niche convenience to those new users. So technology, so long as it delivers utility value, we go for it. It doesn't need to be advertised to us, right? So that's the network effect of technology.
Hello? Okay, thank you for that. So it means that with every use of technology, there is more benefits, and there's an increased value of the platform. And that's specifically for social media, kind of creates opportunity for growth. Looking back, in the early 2000s, we did not have we were nowhere near using Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. I think the whole social media buzz started around 2004, and we're talking about MySpace. Facebook came into the picture some time later. And I would like us to reflect a bit. Jerry, could you help us? Can you give us some of the major dates in terms of the timelines of the recent evolutions that we have experienced? And what have been the markers of progress in terms of the technology landscape?
Okay, so I will not go specific with dates. I think one thing that I want to look at as emerging technologies, and I want to throw a question out. Anybody can respond. What technology tool disrupted your life or wowed you? Anybody? Yes, madam. Telephone.
Yeah.
Okay, I think there was someone close to you.
Web3.
Sorry?
Web3. I didn't hear you talk about it. Web3.
Okay. All right. So tech tools are emerging all the time. We are having innovations, advancements in technology, which come up and has significant impact on our lives. So you mentioned MySpace, Facebook followed, Twitter followed, and then based on usage and what the users need, then you have Instagram with the videos, TikTok, and all of them are taking over, which are improving the way that we are doing things. The reason why I'm asking the tech tools that has wowed us. I mean, recently I was talking to someone and said, he went to do further his education in the UK from Kenya, and what wowed him was the microwave. So at the time that he went, he was a young bachelor, doesn't know how to cook. The whole family was worried about him. How are you going to survive? So okay, I hear they have fast foods. Then he was given a flat. They took him around fully furnished, and then he saw this small fridge with a transparent door. He asked what it was. They were told that it's a microwave. And for him, that changed his life because he can go out there, get frozen food, and come and cook it in there. So all these technologies, I want us to cast our mind that it's not only the tools and platforms like social media and the phones. Now we have fridges that come up with Wi-Fi. So people are watching Netflix in their kitchen whilst cooking. People are getting recipes and watching directly in the kitchen. So these emerging technologies that are coming up are not only the online softs that you have, but then you have those that are hard ones like the electronic cars that are coming up and all of that. So I don't want us to restrict ourselves to the dates, but then how is this new tools coming up? How is it impacting us? How is it changing our lives? What are available? The old ones and the new ones. And now you find that they're all merging. So WhatsApp status is now picking up what Instagram was doing, short stories, TikTok. They're all merging. So what is current now, and how can we as civil society or individuals use it to improve our work and improve our lives?
Yeah, that's a good one. And so looking at all these different transformations that are coming, not only the tool or the applications, but also looking at some of the combinations and how they interfere with our day-to-day lives. What could we say are the opportunities for any civil society organization? Because now you spoke about electric vehicles, you spoke about the microwave, you spoke about a lot of things that are happening out there that we cannot be oblivious of. But if we have to take it home, what are some of the opportunities for non-profits as far as
So our work cuts across so many things. So we do advocacy, we do research, we do capacity building, we do community outreach, sensitization, orientation, and what have you. Recently, I was introduced to an AI tool for gathering data, and it's being actually deployed in Amman, Jordan by Oxfam. And what they are using is a digital avatar. So they've created this digital avatar in a link that has all the survey questions in it as a video. So you open the link, and then it tells you what the research is about, whether you are comfortable to go ahead and take the research, and then it asks you which language you want to choose. So the one that was deployed in Amman, Jordan, is in Arabic. Then I found out that some NGOs are also using it in Kenya. So you choose the avatar, which can be a woman, a man, dressed in your cultural dress as well, so that you are comfortable to deal with them. And it comes in voice and text. And it asks you a question, you respond in voice, and it records it. So for civil society, this is a big opportunity to gather data. So the one that happened in the one that Osfam is using. So the same work that they used to do in gathering data from, I think about 500 to 600 households, they used to take 2 weeks to do that. Now with this tool, they take 24 hours. And they reach more homes than 500 homes. And the same tool gives them analytics. So they can actually make decisions from it to inform their programming and make better decisions. So that's one level for research and data gathering, and also to do analysis. For our work around communication and building capacity, we all got to that when we were forced to do that when COVID. So we're all doing online training, we're doing online orientation, but then we need to also start exploring certain tools as augmented reality, virtual reality, to do engagement beyond social media. So recently, Parliament, the Speaker's Office invited us to see how we can dramatize Parliament, to get more people to know how Parliament works. How can we gamify Parliament so that people can easily relate to them and they don't see them as old men in suits, but then the youth can approach them. So we looked at augmented reality, virtual reality. So people do not even have to go to Parliament, but then they can actually wear this glasses, and they can actually explore all Parliament work and how it works. So we can use that to create awareness. Drone technology. How can we do before and after stories? Galamsey. The certain areas that we can't go. Can we invest in drone technology so that we can see the impact of the Galamsey on our environment? So that is also there. How do we even improve our efficiency? So there's cloud computing. So we can work hybrid. This conference is very innovative. It's hybrid. So those who are not here are able to watch it on screen. The same way we can incorporate cloud computing into our work, have access to data online. Somebody can, you live in Kaswa, your office is so you don't need to come, because all the work that your colleagues are working is online that you can access as well. So these are so many opportunities that we can use for research, advocacy. How do we leverage on social media to get people to sign on to our advocacy? And advocate for changes, abolishing e-levy from the comfort of our homes without getting on the streets. I hope we're all following Kenya. 5 people died. That is a different scenario, but can that be done online? We've done stuff online that we've achieved results. Like the tolling tax. There was a big advocacy online that was able to, get that tax from being passed. So there's so many opportunities that civil society can use to, can use emerging technologies. Peter just spoke about crowdfunding. Do we move away from the traditional, doing a launch to raise funds, or can we go online and get 5 CDs from everybody, which in the end cumulatively will be more than getting it from one source. So these are just some of a few opportunities available. But I'm sure Mazimus, I've been speaking for this long. I feel we neglected you, so please rope in as well.
Yes, I would like Maximus to also add up, but I just want to point that you've taken us a bit to a high level. I heard augmented reality. Has someone heard it here? Virtual reality. Has someone used it here? Okay, it looks like they are the big men. So let's come down to our level. So for any day-to-day organization at the grassroots community or any ordinary non-profit, what are some of the opportunities that you can tap into when it comes to technology evolution or transformation that you can leverage? Maximus.
Yeah, so I would want to touch on the tools that you can use, right? So at least, how many of us have websites? Yeah, at least 40-50%, right? So that is basic. So that is your online estate that you need to have, so that you can interface with your audience and also your donors, so that the donors can see what you are doing, being populated on your website. And of course, anybody who wants to partner with you can also go to your website and see what you've been doing. Then you need to have an email system where you can send information about what you do also as newsletters to people who have subscribed to receiving news information from you as an NGO. Then, of course, you need a phone number. Okay, so if I'm in the village, I can call you. It's also technology, right? Not just social media. So that I can call your line, whether it's a toll-free number or a hotline that they can call and report whatever issue they have. If you put it on WhatsApp, which is like the #1 social media platforms in Ghana, estimated at 19 million WhatsApp contacts. It means that people can push information to you either in picture format or in text format in real time. You can also respond. You can send them links to a survey for them to give you feedback on the surveys, or you want them to fill a particular form. You can also send the WhatsApp to them. Now the fascinating thing with WhatsApp is that they can also do audio. Right now, our grandmothers are also doing audio, recording and sending it to you in a local language, and then you can also do the transcription and all that. Now they are even building AI into the WhatsApp. So very soon, I'm sure the AI will do the translation of the audio for you. So it makes it easier. Then you need a social media platform, which is very important, right? We all know about Share the Link, right? Yeah, so that's how impactful it is. We are spending a lot of our time on social media because of the friends and the network that we've built offline, which is mirrored on various social media platforms. So for you as an NGO, find a way of putting all your target audience also on social media. So as long as they are tech savvy and they are on social media, you pull them to your pages, advertise it. In fact, advertise it on your brochure, your website, on your call card, even your email signatures. You have your social media handles and everything there, so people can also join you. Then, if you have some money, you can come up with a mobile app, right? So people can send you information directly on your mobile app. You can also disseminate information to them in real time. Then, if you need money, you can also, apart from the crowd funding platform, you can also have a short code, a merchant number, where people can push some 5 cedis a month to you or 10 cedis a month to donate to you. These are tools that you as an NGO can use. And for me, it falls under 4 different things, right? You have to build your community, which is very important. What you do is about people. So long as they use one technology tool or the other, you must find a way of using that tool optimally to be able to engage them and become more efficient. Number 2 is content. Broadcast what you have been developing and what you are doing, and then push it to them on your websites, on your social media, emails, and then even WhatsApp. There's one technology that some of us don't even it sounds primitive, the interactive voice recorder, where people can subscribe, then you can dial and send them information in their local language, so that at maybe 7 a.m., their phone rings, they pick it, and then they hear you talking. Either it's an announcement or some information. And this is in local language, so they won't be restricted as to what they call literacy. So you need to do that. Then communication is your email stuff that you've been doing. And very importantly, the commerce aspect is how to raise funds. So get people to identify with your cause, push the content to them, let them also contribute, because you're also helping the society, so that anybody who contributes a dime, you account for it, and others will also contribute to that. Then the next phase will be the advanced ones, where we can gamify some of the things that we are doing using video games or virtual reality, so children can also participate, because now they are interfacing with those technologies. So that if you are talking about child rights, or you are talking about drugs or whatever, you can develop games around it for people to play. Whilst they are playing, indirectly you are also educating them and interacting with them. So those are the tools that I want to touch on. Thank you.
Thank you. Amazing. Can we give it a round of applause? Okay, before we continue, the owner of vehicle registered GC57722 is requested outside. GC57722. Thank you. So very great input there. Thank you both, Jerry and Maximus. I would just like to go over some of the items that have been mentioned, at least making sure that we have a very reliable interface for communicating with the outside world. So we need to have a website to be present there to communicate and to maintain our brand. We also need to use corporate and professional email addresses. How you carry yourself out there is very important. So using your personal email address to mix up with the work you do could be quite tricky. And then also having an official line. Yes, you mentioned a phone, but having an official phone number that is always accessible to the organization and the public is very important. Quite a number of different items there: audio with transcription, the interactive voice recorder, social media presence, digital marketing, a lot of nice ideas. I'll take another quick round and then we'll go out to the participant before we join back the panel. So my next round of question is, after all these beautiful things have been mentioned and we could see the opportunities, what are some of the risks that will come with the technology adoption? Because it's not all rosy. There are definitely some challenges and risks inherent to adopting technology. What can you tell us about it?
There's so many risks out there, but sometimes you don't want to go too deep into it and scare people in using it, because as much as possible, we want a lot of people to use the tech tools. But the key one that we need to worry about is social engineering, which is the calls that you get and tell you that, I have some deposit somewhere here, give me your account details and I'll put money into it. So more about digital security and privacy issues. So those are, a lot of the platforms onboarding takes a lot of your information. So your name, where you live, your date of birth, and all of this are information that goes online that social engineers can use to hack you and solicit, funds from you, or ask you to send some money for mobile money to them. So that's one of the key risks. The other thing also is that a lot of us don't have digital security policies in our organization to guide the way we engage online. So anything comes on, we just take it on board because we heard it's good. So at the moment, a lot of organizations are using ChatGPT and all the other generative AI platforms. But the models that generate the content for you, most of the data that it uses doesn't come from our part of the world. So some of the answers that it will give you will be wrong. I mean, there have been recent research that shows that it can't tell fact from fiction. So you think that it's producing content for you, but then at the end of the day, it's giving you wrong filler. So then that's some of the risks that you need to be mindful of. Also has to do with data, our data that we push out there. So that's also another risk that would make sure that we are secure in our interactions online. I didn't mention earlier on about cloud computing, for instance. You're storing a lot of data out there. If somebody hacks into that data, what happens to your organization? Issues to do with your password and how often do you update them? Also is another issue. Do you have one password that cuts across? I don't want to do the poll here, But I'm sure, a lot of us are using our date of birth, our names, our children's date of birth, and we use it across all our platforms. So that's also a huge risk that we need to look out for. I'll pass on to Masmus.
Yeah, so of course, I say technology is neutral, right? Is how you use it that determines its effect on you, whether negatively or positively. It's almost like having a knife in the kitchen. You use it to cut tomatoes, but if you don't use it well, it can cut you as well, right? So the first one, of course, is very important: data privacy policy. As an organization, you must have one, and as individuals within the organization, you must also have that policy, so that when you are creating content, right, you don't go and pick somebody's photograph and then use it for your website and social media without their permission or source crediting them. If they take you to court, you'll be sued and they will win. That one is guaranteed, right? So it's very important. Invest some money in producing your own pictures or videos or content. And there are even websites where you can go and buy stock images. Now we have a lot of blacks models also in this. I've been seeing some of the telcos and even banks using some of the stock images. So they are not paying models 10,000 Ghana cedis or $10,000 to use their pictures. They go and buy some $50 picture and they can use it for their flyers and posters or whatever. So it's very important. The privacy issue is very key. Now, when you are in a WhatsApp group, the policy should guide you that it's not every link you click on. You should understand even the simple, what they call a syntax of a link. If it's starghana.com and then you see star.ghana.com or star.xx.com something, you know it's not the official website. It's leading you to, a different location. So people be sharing a lot of content. There's a snake with 3 heads, an elephant with 8 legs. So you want to click and see, then before you see, they've taken you to your website. Sometimes they don't even take you to your website where you see anything. It's just a blank page. But on the blank page, there's an app that has already intruded into your device. So all those things are very important. If you are not sure, don't click. It's not by force to click on every link. It's very important. Otherwise, they will take over your WhatsApp, they will take over your emails, they will take over your website. And then you lose all those channels and you have to go and pay money to even retrieve some of them, and sometimes some are even not retrievable. It has happened to multinationals and big companies. So it's very important. Data privacy. And then, like I said, the source crediting. Then if you produce content, you should have a way of banking it. Your pictures, your videos, your press releases, your profile, your company document. Go and pay for some Google Drive and put all your pictures there in well cataloged folders, so that in 5 years' time, if somebody wants to do a website for you, a documentary for you, you can just send them the links and they can get all those information. But don't be keeping them on your laptops alone or your pen drive. If your laptop crashes, that's the end of all the data. So it's very important to keep those things in mind. So these are the key things I want to touch on.
Just to add also is what we have, digital hygiene. So I'll raise my hand. I mean, I clear it once in a while, but if you come on my desktop, I have so many documents open up there. And I'm sure most of us are guilty because you're working on multiple documents and you don't put them in folders. So the more unhygienic you are online, the more susceptible you are to hacking and falling prey to viruses. Masmos mentioned about clicking unknown links, and they are clickbaits. They bait you to click it. As soon as you click it, you are importing virus onto your machine. It comes on yours, and then it goes, across. If you are sharing documents across, it goes across. Some organizations have even banned pen drives in the organization altogether because it can spread, information and viruses all over. So the key thing is digital hygiene. Just the same way you clean your room, you clean your way also on online. Your desktop, how you interact online. It's not everything that you see that is good for you. Be cautious about how you use online assets, and then also know the things you are doing before you push you on to the rest of your stuff. Yeah.
Thank you. You've been generous enough. I asked about the risk, but I mean, it's very good that you also give us some of the mitigations, and we'll have more of that when we come back to the next round. I would like to zoom out a bit of the panel and hear more from our audience. What has been your experience in terms of the opportunities with technology evolution, and also some of the risks that you have encountered? If you could edify us. I will take the first few hands that I see. So Alaji, Rashid, and then another hand there. I would also like to have some ladies. So 3 men. Okay, madam. So you'll be the number 4. Okay, so we'll take these first ones. Alaji.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Alaji Osman. I work for Ghana Developing Communities Association. One of the, I think, issues we have about these tools is about the cost, the paywall. I mean, you want to have tools for your data collection, you want to have tools for your financing, you have to have tools for your admin, HR. And these don't come free. Even for small, even the free versions, there's a very big limit to what you can do. So, I don't know, TechSoup through Waxy, I think it's been very, very helpful, and I think it's great. But, you can't get everything from there. So are there, systems that, we are looking at that can help, especially small organizations, that would need these tools and do not have so much money to be able to get. Because everything, almost, even your Facebook, you have a limit to which you can use it, and you have to, if you want to be more professional or whatever, then you need to, upgrade or things like that. So I think this is my contribution.
Thank you, Alaji. Yes, Rashid.
Thank you very much. I've mentioned my name already, so I don't want to mention again.
Can you mention it for us?
Sorry?
Can you mention it again for me?
My name is Patience Samoa.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Revolve Women Ghana. Takwa. Yes, my issue is on digital security. I want our panel to give us more recommendations when it comes to digital security, because I know organizations who are having so many challenges as I'm speaking to you right now with regards to digital security. So please help us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Abdul Rashid from Inspired to Act Mali. I want to zero in more on what my sister indicated. There's a trend, and I'm sure that many of us in this room are victims of that trend. We get to airports, we get to locations, and the moment we are aware that there's a free Wi-Fi, we do what? We always try, we think we are taking advantage. But I have suffered it, and I wanted to just prompt you to throw more light on it, on the risk of people thinking that they are taking advantage of free Wi-Fi, the risk of data security to signing on and clicking some of these free Wi-Fis we find around. My second issue has to do with, you visit a page and they ask you the question of the cookies. We use cookies. Do you want to accept or reject? Please, I want to find out more the risk we face and what we lose if we accept or if we reject. Thank you very much.
Thank you. One last hand. No, the one in smoke.
The one in smoke.
All right, thank you very much. I'm so much interested in this topic because...
Your name, please?
My name is Ishaka Obakar Ziko Newton. I'm so much interested in this topic because I'm ISO 27001 lead implementer. And this has actually been something we have been researching on with Mother of All Nations for quite some time now. You know, in as much as we try to understand that tech is helping make work easier, we should also understand that there are a lot of risks also involved. So I think that it's time for CSOs, NGOs to also understand that the cyber security or cyber threat we hear that corporate industries talk about can also affect us, because we also deal with a lot of data. We have the informations of our beneficiaries, information of our donors, some credentials that are ours that we want to keep, that if it goes out in the public domain might affect the credibility of our various organizations. So I think it's ideal that we try as much as we can to see how best we could study some of these protocols and understand some of the controls that we need to put in place in our various organizations to protect ourselves from this cyber attack. And thankfully this year, my organization, Mother of All Nations Foundation, will be rolling out a cybersecurity workshop for NGOs as well.
Thank you. We'll link up with you. Thank you very much for the publicity. Okay, we'll take those first few questions for now. We'll go back to the audience. So I would like to turn to my panel members. There have been a lot around digital security and data privacy breaches. So you can address that. If you want me to go over them, I can assist with that. But let's take the first question on the issue around resourcing. How do we support, how do we overcome the challenge around the cost of adoption of technology? And he specifically mentioned that there is TechSoup. So WAXI manages TechSoup, which is a technology donation for non-profit organizations. But he's saying that we need more, of course. What are the opportunities or the alternatives for organizations?
Yeah, tech is expensive, right? Even though a lot of it is free. There are some platforms where they even have like different rates for even NGOs. Some give some solutions even for free. If you're an NGO, if you can prove that you're an NGO. So we need to find out those platforms. And for me, I think that if you are going to store data, if you are going to run your organization effectively, then we need to invest in tech solutions that will make the work easier for you. A lot of the times, all these platforms can give you a dashboard. So if you are using a project management software, whatever, they give you an overview of everything that is, connected, all your activities, everything that you do, which some consultants will charge you hundreds, of thousands of Ghana cedis to do it for you. The software can, do it for you for almost for free. Just a subscription that you pay for. So the first thing is find out if those platforms have special, payment regime for NGOs, and then even especially for schools and organizations, and also find out how you can raise some funds to also get some of the tools yourself is very, very helpful. Now for the free Wi-Fi stuff is very important. Don't just connect because it's available, right? In technology, in pricing model, they said if you use something for free means you are the product, right? So you are Mark Zuckerberg's product, you are using Facebook for free. They sell you to advertisers. That's what they do. So the free Wi-Fi, the free is that you are the product. So if you are connecting for free, it means that they are accessing some information from you that they are going to use later on. They can also take over your device and use it to, can easily use it to hack other people's devices and all that. So a lot of these things come on. So, and the cookies, digital cookies. It's not digestive biscuit, but these are more features or functionalities. So a digital cookie is like a secretary or a receptionist. So if I walk into an office, the receptionist can document that Maximus has been here, and then he went to finance office, he went to the marketing department, he went and used the washroom. Then Kofi also comes. Kofi went to the washroom. The next time Kofi also, Kwame went to the finance. So this software, a piece of software, documents all those activities and is able to help, redesign how the platform works better for your subsequent visit or for other people who share the same profile as yourself. So that's how the cookies work. And of course, now you can also select which one to agree to and which one to reject. And sometimes you can reject all, and some websites, if you reject all, you can't have access to the website. So it all depends on you.
So just to add to that, the cookies are not all that bad. So it's used by the programmers to improve on your web experience. Some will collect your data, but most of it is more to improve on how you enjoy the websites or the platforms that you go to. But back to Alaji's bit on cost. I'm also coming from the CSO space, and we do a lot of platforms. So we also have issues with cost and how we maintain the various platforms that we build for ourselves and also for our partners. One thing that most of us forget to do is also finding funding for it. So we will write a proposal, we will look at our staff cost, we will look at activity cost, and we totally forget the online platforms. So we don't put in any line item for maintenance of the platform. It requires maintenance. We don't put anything for hosting the platform. Some of us also will host different platforms on different hosting sites. And every month they'll be sending us a bill. I don't know whether you experience it. So you need to also, partner with, a tech, institution to give you advice on how to, cut down your, tech costs as well. But we need to always find, funds for it. The same way we find our funds for our rent. We need to find, funds for, our online assets and our online platforms and how we use it. So that's what I want to. But Alaji, after that, after this, we can talk more. All right. Okay.
Thank you. I would like us to do justice to this.
Oh, digital security.
No, not on this specific concern, because it's a major one.
Yes.
Civil society organizations already have a big challenge when it comes to overhead, and you have a lot of cost items to cover: administrative costs, other operational costs, bills, and other kind of expenditures. Now, we said that we need to adopt technology to be more efficient and effective in our work. How do we source the budget for our technology initiatives? Yes, you mentioned that we can have budget lines for it, but the question is, do we have funders or grant givers that have allocation for technology, or that give core funding that can enable you to cover? Do you have any similar experience, or in the room for those who are within the funding space that support technology? I think it would be good to hear any such experience. So I would like to hear from you. Have you had any direct experience?
Yes, just briefly. I mean, without funding for tech platforms, Penplusbytes will not be, in existence now. So you need to make a strong justification for it. Why do you need your platform to be up? It's your front-facing page of your organization. Your website is, is you online. It builds your credibility. So you need to make a justification why you need these platforms. And once you make a good justification to the donors, they will fund it for you. And a lot of the donors, even though some of them still are old school, a lot of them are coming on board and understand, the tech space and the cost involved in the tech space. The only thing is that you need to show the impact it's going to make in your community. It's bringing about inclusiveness. It's improving your reach. It's helping you work more efficiently. Once you're able to show this justification and tell your success stories, you'll be able to source funds for it.
Okay.
It's very simplistic, but I mean it's a start. Yes.
And it's possible.
It is possible.
Great. We can now touch on the practical aspects. We've said a lot about the opportunities, the risk, and so on. And I would like you to walk us through a typical experience that you've had helping organizations or even your own organization onboard technology. Where did you start from And how will you suggest an organization should go about adopting technology to be more confident, to be more efficient and effective and impactful in their work? Do you have any kind of recipe or protocol? And who must drive the process? Must it happen from the helm of the organization? Is it a business of leadership? Or where do we start from?
Okay, but before we go on, I see Patricia is eyeing, is it Patience? Patience is eyeing us because we haven't answered her question on the digital security. Okay. So I'll just touch on it, not go into details, but some of the key things that you need to, have in terms of your digital security is first have a policy that spells out your passwording system. Some organizations will recommend that you change your password regularly. Most of the tools are giving offers for two-factor authentication, multi-factor authentication. Before you access a platform, a message is sent to your phone. A code is sent before you go on. We need to take advantage of that. We need to have training in our institution. Sometimes there'll be one weakest link in organization who breach something and it affects everybody. So it means you have to bring everybody on board in your digital security and train them. WAXI is offering opportunities we are working with WAXI, opportunities on digital security and training. And I think when opportunity comes up, you can sign up somebody to come and then be on it. You should have the issue about airports Wi-Fi, for instance. If you have good antivirus on your machines and your laptop and your phones, you'll be able to use those Wi-Fi and be protected. But it means that you have to keep on upgrading your softwares and your antivirus. Do regular backups, for instance, so that when you get hacked, you know that you have that system in place for you. I think, sorry we rushed on that, but there's more to it, and I'm sure that we can take advantage of some of the digital security trainings that are coming up, like the gentleman mentioned as well. But the key thing is, make sure that everybody in the organization is on board and is aware of the threats out there and be prepared for it. So in terms of tech, who should be driving it? In our civil society space, we don't have, so when you go to the big corporates, you have the chief technology officer, for instance, who will be driving it. We don't have it. So usually what we will do is that we'll find the most tech-savvy person within our small outfit to advise on emerging technology, how it will improve our work, and this person will orient the team. And then we need a decision maker, who will be the executive director, who will be able to allocate resources for the adoption of technology. And then you need an implementer who will make sure that the things that we are putting money to, people are using it in the organization to improve. Did I miss any of your questions? It's okay.
I'd like to hear from Maximus any lessons learned and challenges or successes of helping organizations to adopt technology.
Yeah, so normally we adopt technology very late. If the person driving it is not the leader, because usually tradition goes on, so there's a structure. That's how we've been running this organization for so many years. So if you want to go tech, it means it has to go through the board level for approval. If you're a multinational, it has to go through the international level and all that. So the adoption is slower if the person driving it is not leadership, right? So you have the young people, the national service people coming to the organization to do maybe internship, and they start suggesting we should be on social media, we should have a WhatsApp number, we should have a website. The leaders don't understand why the young person is telling them to have all those things. So it's very important as an organization to understand that the dispensation we are in is driven by technology, right? So your credibility or authenticity is driven also by technology tools, right? So that if you have a website and then you are looking for funding from an organization outside of Ghana, and then you are using Gmail or Yahoo as official email, some will not even look at your document, right? If you don't have an official email or even a website. So for you, digital transformation or digital strategy should be called to your activities, because we are talking about people who currently use mobile phones, they are on WhatsApp, they are on social media platforms, they visit websites, and these are stakeholders or the publics that you are dealing with. So you as an NGO, technology should be very key to how you run, manage your top level managers, your stakeholders, your suppliers, your partners, your audiences at the grassroots level, even the field officers or whoever you use to collect data and all that. Technology can do that for you very easily. So we should see technology as part and parcel of the organization. It should be part of your policy. It's very important.
Thank you. We are so soon rounding on this session. You used the word that I'm quite interested in, strategy. And there's this famous quote from Peter Drucker that says that culture eats strategy for breakfast. And so now the question is, when we talk about technology, is it all about the tool, the devices, the software, the application? Or is there something bigger than that? What is the role of organizational strategy when it comes to technology adoption? And how do we facilitate the change? One quick comment on that, and then we'll take one or two more people from the audience to close.
So is there just quick comment on that is the people as well. And we need to take the people on board, get a buy-in of whatever tech strategy that you're adopting. Don't leave anyone behind, and get everybody roped in and everybody using it. It's like data. The more you use the tech, the more it works better for you. So if there's a data that you go in and you don't question it or you don't query it, you don't see the challenges to improve on it. But then if you adopt a technology, one person has an issue, then it helps you to build on it. So the people factor is also very important. You need to get the buy-in of everybody in the organization.
Very good. Thank you. So we have one hand up there, and then a second, a third. Okay, so we'll take those three hands, and we are hoping to close beautifully. So the one right at the back. Did you raise your hand, the lady? Okay.
Thank you, moderator. Our two panelists, thank you for all that information that you have shared to us. But my question is, I want to know all these technologies, all these tech issues, if there are any health implications. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Here. You can raise your hand again. Yes, in green.
Yeah, thank you. I'm John Bibirum from Independent Minds Association. I'm so happy listening to our brothers highlighting on the technology for our work. The question I want to ask, as a local or a growing organization, how do we manage our website in particular? Because the resources to engage a communication officer or an expert to be managing the domain and whatever terms they refer to them, we don't have that resources. Sometimes you rely from the services of maybe an expert, one person who come and are open for you. And if this person is not there, will you be able to get, sometimes they talk about the domain, they have to buy somebody hosting, and you become confused. So if you rely on a friend or an individual expert who's doing the consulting service and the person is no more there, then your website, you go in there, you can't even manage it. So please, if you can help us come down to our level, how we can manage it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The last person here.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, dear panelists. It has been a very enriching session so far.
My name is Christian Elonge. I'm from Munakalati as the Executive Director. And my question is related to AI use in the NGO sector. As we all know, there is a recent and increasing AI fever. Like many people are interestingly using AI tools such as ChatGPT, Gemini, and many others in their work, sometimes unofficially. And there are some implications at the issue of data privacy. So I would like to know, what are the best practices that you could recommend for the use of AI in the workplace, especially in the NGO sector? And what are some best practices that you think that any organization should put in place in a simple and effective way? Because as you have said, strategy can be good, but if it's not within the culture, it has no effect. So how does NGO leverage on AI in a responsible way? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christian. So in the interest of time, thank you. In the interest of time, we will have our panelists attempt to answer. We apologize to those that we are not able to take now. We've exceeded the time allocation for this afternoon sessions. So the first question of this second round is there any health implication?
I was just telling him that even if you drink too much water, it can also kill you, right? So tech, of course, will have health implications when you abuse it. It's very important. If you keep looking onto your phone for a very long time, you start getting neck pains, and very soon you'll be comfortable with this posture, right? That is a health challenge, right? And when COVID came, people were like, oh, 5G is the one that, brought COVID. When there was no even 5G in Ghana. A lot of the countries who were even getting 5G didn't even have, getting COVID didn't even have 5G. Right? So people will say radiation and the rest. There are safety protocols governing the use of technology and the frequencies in terms of the waves that are used to broadcast these services. Right? So countries go through all these protocols and they approve it for industry use. So please don't be too scared when you are using the technology. But you can, if you overuse, if you WhatsApp for a long time and you don't sleep, your eyes will become red. You can get migraine. You can suffer other health implications because of overusage or abuse of the technology. So we have to be measured in how we use technology. Now, for a website, right, if you want to design a website, please, if you want somebody to design a website for you, if you pay for the domain is yours. It's not the developer's property. So get access to all the FTP, cPanel details, all the logins, have it. So that if you want to change the person who developed it for you or want a new person to develop it for you, you can have control over it. And then updating content. Learn the basics. There are a lot of videos on YouTube. You can do that. Now, if you are talking about child rights, for example, if I have a website that I can't create content, I can look for experts in the industry or news portals and be sharing them on my website and source credit them. I don't need to create the original content. So that's how you can also manage it if you don't have the human resource to manage that for yourself. You can be sharing tips on child protection. Any other industry, you can come with your own simple ideas, get somebody to do some simple artworks for you. There are even these softwares like Canva, for example. They have a free version where you can go and put a text or a picture together, put your logo on it, and you create an artwork. It's free. But if you have a young person, the better for you, so that they can do the design and share it with you for you to approve or have a look at. And for AI, AI is not new, right? It's a generative one that we are currently experiencing that we think is new. AI has been in the system since 1950 something. But we are now seeing the adoption of it. And this is just a minute part of what AI can do that we are seeing. And for an NGO, you can use AI for concept development, for ideas. looking for ideas. But if you go there with a blank mind that you want AI to do anything for you, you'll find everything that you want. But if you know what you want, you know whether the AI is doing the right thing for you or the content you have is the right one. So we must go there with an informed mind before we create content on the AI platforms. So it's very important. Then you realize that most of the social media platforms, now they are even tagging content that are AI generated. It means that they are going to limit on natural content on the platform. So when you generate content with AI, they would decide how to distribute that particular content if it's not natural. So we should think around it. And
Closing comments from you, Jerry.
So quickly on the health one, it's like, look at it like an addiction, and then have a balance. It's all about balance. So pay attention to your screen time. This time, every Monday I get screen time analytics to tell me that when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I go to is WhatsApp. So if I want to reduce my screen time, I don't go to WhatsApp when I wake up in the morning. Have a balance in the way you use the platforms, and everything you're addicted to over a period will have health implications, for you. And then I think the website issue, unfortunately, we can't, give you freebies. If you build a house, and something breaks down, you pay the mason to come and fix it for you. It's the same thing, So try to, as much as possible, allocate some resources for your platforms, and because all the freebies also can bring you problems. So you can, yes, aggregate content, but sometimes you can go and pick a content, even though you give, Masmo said, you can give credit to it, but they will not be happy to that you are sharing that content without paying for it. So sometimes you have to pay for things. Is the real truth out there. And then the AI bit, yes, I think Masmo's done justice to that, but when you go on there, because research has shown that some of the platforms cannot tell fact from fiction. And there's another one, that Publicity, another generative AI, which is meant for researchers. You use it, and most of the references it gives you are all not correct. So if you go there and you depend on it, then you may end up churning out false information or disinform people. So before you use those platforms, be knowledgeable about the subject area that you are seeking the AI to give you content on, so that you can tell the truth from the fiction in your usage. Closing comments, just to add on to that, is that we should embrace technology. We should encourage constant learning and find out what is new in the space and how we can leverage on it. Let's continuously map out, the various emerging technology, pick the ones that are good for us, and leave the ones that are not going to help us. It's not everything that you need to have on your phone. A lot of us have so many apps on our phones that we don't even use, and it's eating into your memory. So explore, but then use what is relevant for you. At the same time, also try to be transformative. Don't do the same things that you do all the time, whilst others are using technology to take the lead. If you don't adapt, if you don't innovate, you die off, and others who are adapting and innovating will move on. Yeah.
Thank you. Can we clap for them, please? I wouldn't be able to sum up everything that has been said, and I thank you very much for the time well spent, a lot of insight, and I feel everyone has been served, regardless of our organizational size, budget, or context, and we encourage each and everyone to explore the opportunities that technology offer, right? Being mindful of the risk, and showing commitment, building ownership, building organizational culture, and embedding it in our strategies. Thank you. It was a pleasure to be with you this afternoon, and we wish everyone all the best in your digital journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much. One of the people I fear in life are tech people. But let's clap for them. They've done very well. They've broken the subject down very beautifully. Please, if you need more apport, see them. let us commit some small money into strengthening our systems, because that is going to